And then, bright and early the next morning, Tish and I stuffed my Brompton folding bikes in the back of a rented Mustang convertible. Boy, this was going to be a fun drive. As we sped north of New Orleans, we crossed the world's longest road bridge, the 23-mile-long Pontchartrain Causeway. And under beautiful blue skies, at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning, it was time for a spot of horse riding 55 miles north of New Orleans at Splendor Farm. Very good morning, folks. Well, the latest stage in my 2-night New Orleans layover is arriving here at Splendor Farms. And what a splendid start to Sunday it is. Glorious weather, and the staff here have confirmed that we are lucky. Aren't we, Tish? Yes.
Oh, yes, we are.
Howdy, cowboy. We're about to go for a 2-hour ride. We both like to horse ride, and this will set us back $60. This ride is taking a beautiful turn. There's a lake on the left and a horse beach. What on earth is a horse beach? We shall find out. Now, if you don't like spiders, look away now, because on this trail there are a fair number of them and they are huge. Look at this bad boy here. Look at him. Well, the other horses are way ahead of me now because this fella is peckish. It's lunchtime for him, or is it brunch time? So yeah, he doesn't really care about me. He's just munching away, aren't you? You feed away. Do they actually know I'm way behind?
Well.
And what's the reward for Leo?
Leo.
Having given us such a great time, Tish's apples.
Leo gets an apple.
And now for the next chapter in our lovely, leisurely Sunday outing here in Louisiana. A little bit of back road exploration. So we were cycling along here and we spotted this little creature, a Louisiana tortoise. This local chap, Steve, reliably informs me that they are rare. He hasn't seen one in several years, so that is going to a loving home soon. So, bye-bye. And after our morning's horse riding, it was time to explore the city of New Orleans on 2 wheels.
Come on, this is New Orleans. How much you love me.
And then it was time for dinner, New Orleans style. And the next morning we needed some serious calories for the day ahead. Why better than Lizzie's Where You're At Diner. Another glorious morning here in Louisiana, the deep south, and the Big Easy is proving easy again. Mother Nature giving a very nice helping hand here on a lovely Monday morning. Now again, for some reason there's nobody here. Here being the Cane River, featuring Matt, our guide on our canoe adventure, which begins over there, featuring of course Tish.
My first pop quiz for y'all, you didn't even know you were going to be tested, is where are we on this map? Since the 1920s, we have not had a deposition or a natural flood to deposit new sediments.
Our guide Matt has reliably informed us that we can eat certain plants. This one is known as the dollar weed, and I'm about to try it.
Yeah. It tastes of nothing really. Well, what would you do? Put it in a salad?
To be honest, it's actually not too bad. Bit of vinaigrette wouldn't do any harm. Here on the Cane River, 40 miles north of New Orleans, wildlife is in abundance. We're on a bayou, which essentially means it's like a river, but it doesn't have a prevailing flow, so it means the water can flow in either direction. And in bayous, you've got alligators, turtles, you've got fish of course, and you've got snakes. This is a ribbon snake, one of the many beautiful sights on this 4-hour canoe or kayak tour. You can take a kayak, as Sam admirably is demonstrating here.
Can you see that I'm stroking a snake?
And then Matt introduces us to a native plant which isn't quite what it seems.
All right, so what we're looking at right here, this is called Spanish moss. It is not Spanish and it is not a moss either. And this was used for a lot of different things in the olden days. A lot of people use this as stuffings and mattresses. It was also used falsely as horsehair. And if you look real closely, some of those dead pieces in there, you can see a little bit of hair-like texture. And people in the South would sell it to people up north as horsehair. So these products were used falsely, and it was also used as stuffings. You want to be careful with it because especially in the summertime, these things, when you get a lot of it just like this and you put it on your head, some people wear it as little wigs and stuff like that. Mostly kids will drape this on their heads and use it as like a wig, like you got this old lady hair. But this is known to have little red bugs called chiggers, and chiggers can bite. So you want to be careful with this, but the Spanish moss itself is not an invasive plant. This is a native plant to Louisiana, and it is everywhere. So people would take the Spanish moss, you can see how it's gray, they would soak it in water, and this is an air plant, so if you soak it in water too long, it kills it. And they would take it and process it, peel away that gray sheath to expose the hair. It might be hard to see on the camera, but
It's there, yeah.
This little reddish, grayish hair, and they would get bundles of it and sell it to northerners as horsehair.
So the northerners were conned.
A little bit, yeah.
Well guys, this is what it's all about, seeing the wildlife, and I never thought we'd get to see one, but there's an alligator just in view in front of me. Blimey, we saw an alligator in the wild. Incredible. Matthew, that was a highlight.
Another pot of clean water with some salt to help purge them.
Just ahead of me is a 30-mile long bicycle trail called the Tammany Chase, and that serves southeast Louisiana. Well, the moment had come again. Our 2 days in Louisiana had flown by. It was time to go home, back to the UK.